Guys, we would absolutely not make it at all. Like 0% chance. Like we would have no time to build anything. We would literally do nothing. We could do nothing and live. Giant insects? Spiders? Roaches? Ladybugs? Guys, all of these insects would absolutely decimate us, guys. Imagine, we somehow make it to adulthood, and then out of nowhere, randomly, a giant spider is over there, right, above the tree line. Right? Coming to just decimate you because you accidentally moved and its web moved and it came at super rapid speed, right? Directly at you and ate your face. All right? And the rest of your body also left you like a desiccated husk. Guys, imagine. We're not making it, guys. No way. No chance. None of the bugs. All of the bugs are absolutely just pure mayhem, guys. All right? The name of the video is what was Earth like in the age of giant insects? All right, guys, let's hypothesize. This is a suggestion via Patreon, guys. Let's get it.
Over 300 million years ago, before the age of giant dinosaurs, Earth was covered with giant insects. Imagine a world where dragonflies are the size of crows and millipedes are as long as cars. Welcome to the Carboniferous period. Why were insects so enormous during this time?
Probably something relating to oxygen.
What did oxygen have to do with it? And why did these insects go extinct? This is What If, and here's what the Earth looked like in the age of giant insects.
Let's go.
The Carboniferous period was one of the most transformational periods in the history of Earth. The planet's land masses were beginning to form the supercontinent of Pangaea. Extensive swamps and warm, humid forests dominated the landscape. And giant insects weren't the only huge creatures roaming the planet. There was also a vast array of marine life, like early forms of sharks and a giant amphibian that would reach up to 6 feet long. Now, enough talking. Let's travel back in time, 300 million years ago, and dive into the Carboniferous age.
Luckily, this is happening just purely visual, and we're not actually here, because, guys, again, we wouldn't make it. Like, even if we went, like, slightly before this time, we still wouldn't make it. Guys, I don't know how we evolved. I think we evolved. No, matter of fact, hold on, guys. We evolved when everything else on Earth that could, beat our intellect, just with pure brute force, guys, went extinct.
Now, the first thing you'd probably notice would be the giant insect-like creatures.
Right.
One of the most iconic was the Meganeura. This insect resembled a modern-day dragonfly, except with a major twist. It had a wingspan of up to 75 centimeters. Yeah, scarier than that though, it was carnivorous, hunting down other insects and small amphibians. Hopefully it doesn't come for you.
Okay.
So that thing is in the sky, but on land, you'll have the Arthropleura. This millipede-like creature could grow up to 2.5 meters long. Luckily, it wouldn't go after you. It preferred munching on decomposing vegetation. Hey, before we talk more about these giant insects, there's another giant issue we need to worry about, and that's our planet's ecosystems and how important it is to help them. Stick around till the end of this video to check out an inspiring project from the folks over at Planet Wild.
All right.
Another creepy-looking insect was the Pulmonoscorpius. This was a giant scorpion that mostly roamed the swampier areas of Earth. They could grow 70 centimeters long.
Why are you saying centimeters like we know what centimeters are? Oh, bro. Okay.
There were also giant cockroaches that grew to 10 centimeters and mayflies with 45 centimeter wingspans. So it's safe to say,
bro, let me get a quick ruler.
Say that you'd have a lot to watch out for when you're wandering around in this period, but the question is, how did these insects get so big anyway? Well, you may have noticed
I'm much better in meters, guys. I can figure out that a meter is super close to a yard, and that's 3 feet. So I can pretty much do the math off of meters, basically, right? But we start talking about centimeters, bro.
You've been hanging around in the Carboniferous age, you feel a lot more energetic and alert. Maybe you've had an easier time running around. This has to do with the oxygen levels in your current world. Research has estimated that the atmospheric oxygen levels were as high as 35% during this period. Compare that to the 21% we breathe today. Oxygen was one of the key factors in the gigantism found in insects at the time.
Not just insects, though.
But why would this make them so giant? Insects breathe bigger. Differently from other creatures.
For real.
Insects don't have a circulatory system to transport oxygen. Instead, it gets delivered directly to their tissues through a network of tiny tubes called the trachea. And the more oxygen in the atmosphere, the bigger these insects are. But there might be more reasons why the insects grew to this size.
Go ahead.
Another theory suggests that the insects were forced to grow so large due to oxygen toxicity. Yeah, as amazing as oxygen is, you can have too much of a good thing. Too much oxygen in your body can create what's known as free radicals. These are unstable molecules that can damage your cells and even damage your DNA. In the case of our insects, they were forced to grow this big. Otherwise, they'd suffer oxygen toxicity. Growing larger would slow down the rate of oxygen absorption, making it harder to suffer from too much oxygen. And the same could happen to you. The longer you hang out in this period, the higher oxygen levels will cause you to experience nausea, respiratory issues, and even some effects on your nervous system. Now, insects were arguably the stars of this age, but they weren't the only things to experience massive change during the Carboniferous period. This time was known as the Coal Age. That's because of the extensive coal beds that formed after ancient forests decayed. These coal beds are one of our main sources of energy. We're still using them today. And a lot of the fruits and veggies you find in the grocery store may be descendants of plants from over 300 million years ago.
They're probably almost all. Well, not specific. Well, kinda, right? But unfortunately, like, we have like manipulated everything that grows to the point where if you were to take like a literal watermelon from right now, and bro, just look at a watermelon from 100 years ago, right? Or 200 years ago, let's say, guys, you're going to start to realize that nothing is similar. So yeah, I mean, maybe down to the chromosomes they have some similarities, but they have no similarities, guys. A carrot is not a carrot, guys. All right, just so you know, it's a carrot, right? But it is not a carrot. Corn is not corn. Nothing is anything, guys. It's all made up, right? But all right.
The Carboniferous period saw the evolution of the first seed-bearing plants, creating more diverse ecosystems than we'd ever seen before. Wait, what's that over there? Kind of looks like a dinosaur. Oh, hey, little guy.
A newt or something?
Turns out this wasn't a dino, just one of the first reptiles to ever appear. But if you stick around a couple of million more years, we'll enter the Mesozoic era, which was known as the Age of Dinosaurs. Speaking of change, the atmosphere was another part of Earth that evolved during this period.
Right.
Earth had a lush, greenhouse-like climate when you first arrived, warm and humid temperatures to support the swampy forests we've been mucking about. But as the period progressed over millions of years, the climate transitioned to what's known as an icehouse Earth state. The temperature would get significantly lower and ice sheets would begin to form, mainly in the southern hemisphere. But why did this happen? Well, as we've been exploring this crazy period, Earth's land masses have been slowly coming together to form a supercontinent known as Pangaea. And when land masses this big start to move, it can seriously affect ocean currents, wind patterns, and global climate. Now, the rainforests have collapsed, which has led to a decline in the fauna and vegetation that were previously booming. And with the rainforests in decline, well, that means oxygen levels are being reduced. Before you know it, our massive insects start dying and going extinct. Without the higher levels of oxygen available to support their size, well, these giant insects can't survive. The lower oxygen levels and a drier climate have created a habitat better suited for smaller insects. Also happening at this point, early reptiles are starting to take over, making the landscape way more difficult for the insects. Okay, now, with Pangaea fully formed, we've entered the Permian period. What happens at this point in history? Well, that sounds like a story for another What If.
Bro,
Hey, don't click off just yet. I've got 2 more.
I'm clicking off. I'm disappointed. Guys, now I definitely want to see the next video. Guys, I love how he delivers his overall content. Definitely, I still don't like bugs, though, bro. I really, seriously do not like bugs. Like, even to today, right now, big as I am, don't care. I don't like bugs. I don't like insects at all. Someone asked me, why do you talk about decimating spiders in your house? Bro, I don't like bugs. I understand spiders, like wolf spiders or whatever they are, right? They eat the bugs in your house. They give you less bugs. But how about this? I don't like bugs, bro, right? A spider, I'm going to decimate it instantly. And that's also why I have, the exterminators, right? They come, right? And then they spray the house down all the time, right? So we don't have any bugs, but I do see spiders randomly, right? And I don't like spiders. This is why I decimate them. Absolutely. They're gone. Sorry. Apologies. In groups of 10. But listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.